Pythagorean Theorem. This is just a short triangle review. What is a triangle with a 90-degree angle called? A right triangle. What are the two sides of the triangle called? They're called legs. What is the longest side of the triangle, the side opposite the right angle, called? The hypotenuse. Pythagorean Theorem activity. A squared plus b squared equals c squared is the Pythagorean Theorem formula. Or you can look at it like legs squared plus legs squared equals hypotenuse squared. Let's see why this is true. In class, we're going to do an activity that proves why this is true. Example 1, we want to find x. So step 1, we're going to plug into the equation a squared plus b squared equals c squared. But what side are we looking for? We're looking for one of the legs, so we have to either replace a or b with 4. So I chose a, so 4 squared plus b squared equals 8 squared. Because 8 is the hypotenuse, so it has to be c. 4 is one of the legs, so it could be either a or b. It doesn't make a difference. Now we want to solve. So 4 squared is 16, and 8 squared is 64. We're going to subtract the 16 over to get b squared equals 48. And then to get rid of the squared, we're going to take the square root of both sides. So the square root of both sides gives you b equals 6.93. We want to find x. We're going to plug into the equation a squared plus b squared equals c squared, but what side are we looking for? We're looking for the hypotenuse because it's the side across from the right angle, so 28 squared plus 20 squared equals c squared, because c is what we're looking for, the hypotenuse. So now we're going to solve. So 28 squared equals 784 plus 20 squared, which is 400, equals c squared. Add those together to get 1184 equals c squared. And then we take the square root of both to get rid of the squared, and we get 34.4 equals c. Pythagorean triples. These are 3 whole numbers that satisfy the equation a squared plus b squared equals c squared, where c must be the greatest number. So for an example, we have 3, 4, and 5. 5 would be the hypotenuse, and 3 squared plus 4 squared does equal 5 squared. And they're all 3 whole numbers. So example 3, we want to determine whether each set of measures can be the sides of a right triangle. Then state whether they form a Pythagorean triple. So we have 8, 15, and 16. So the first thing we're going to do is figure out which one is the hypotenuse. It'll be 16 since it is the longest side, or the greatest number. So 8 and 15 must be the legs. So now we're going to plug it into the equation. So we found 8 and 15 to be the legs, so 8 squared plus 15 squared equals 16 squared, which is the hypotenuse because it's the greatest number. Now we have to figure out, is this true? So we're going to solve. So 8 squared equals 64, plus 15 squared equals 225, equals 16 squared equals 256. And then when we add 64 and 225, we get 289, which does not equal 256. So since this is not true, then these numbers cannot form a right triangle and are not a Pythagorean triple. Example 4, we have the square root of 3 over 5, square root of 6 over 5, and 3/5. So step 1, we want to find which one is the hypotenuse. 3/5, since it is the longest side or the greatest number. So the square root of 3 over 5 and the square root of 6 over 5 must be the sides. So now we're going to plug it into the equation to get the square root of 3 over 5 squared plus the square root of 6 over 5 squared equals 3/5 squared. And we want to figure out, is this true? We're going to solve it. So 3 over 25 plus 6 over 25 equals 9 over 25. And when you add 3/25 and 6/25, you get 9/25 equals 9/25. Since this is true, then these three numbers can form a right triangle. But since these are not whole numbers, then these do not form a Pythagorean triple. Last example, example 5, we have 7, 24, and 25. What is the hypotenuse? It's going to be 25 since it's the longest side or the greatest number. So 7 and 24 must be the legs. Step 2, we're going to plug into the equation. So we'll have 7 squared plus 24 squared equals 25 squared. Is this true? We're going to solve to get 49 plus 576 equals 625. And when you add 49 and 576, you get 625 equals 625. And since this is true, then these three numbers can form a right triangle. And since they are all whole numbers, they do form a Pythagorean triple.